Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here. I hope you're having a great, awesome day in Jesus. This is one of the most fascinating commentaries I have ever seen in my life. And it kind of builds on the 4 Views series, like Zondervan came out with 4 views on hell, 4 views on sanctification, 4 views on salvation, on and so forth. Well, this is put out by Nelson, and it's actually a parallel commentary of Revelation. So I'm going to open it and let you just see what it's all about. Because you'd have like the historicist view, like Haley's Bible Handbook, so awesome, but he takes a historicist view of Revelation. Then you've got the preterist review that would be basically everything's already accomplished, and except maybe a coming of the Lord in the future. I think the King James translators, a lot of them would have been preterist, and Jesuits came out with that. And then the spiritual view of that as well, and then the futurist view, which would be like, Tim LaHaye and Thomas Ice and the Rapture Research Center and all this kind of stuff. So on each page it gives all 4 views, and before you get into like a chapter, it's going to give you all 4 views of what's going on in the chapter, and just excellent. And I just want to commend Nelson for how they did it. I remember years ago there was a spiritual warfare handbook that came out. I think it was by Ed Young, and this kind of has the same feel. But it's a rather large book. It says it's $32.99. I didn't pay $32.99 for it. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I didn't pay $32.99 for it. By the help and grace of God. Coupons are our friend at Family Christian Bookstore. And I do like the appendix, because it's large, deep, dark, bold print. So let's see how many pages this thing has in it. I think it's almost 500 pages. It gets recommended by Homer Kent from Grace. Homer Kent's got one of the best books on the book of Acts you can ever get. Clark Pinnock, Robert G. Klaus from Indiana State University. So it's got a scriptural index. So with all of this, it's over 500 pages. The index and everything. So it's 528 pages, and it's 505 pages. I just saw a reference to Beaterwolf with the Millennium Bible, which I hope to do a review on in the very near future. 505 pages. Great idea. Brilliant idea. I would lean more towards being a current guy. What do they call that? They would call that the futurist. I would lean more, especially after chapter 323. I think everything before the 7 churches happened in the past, and then beginning of chapter 4 would probably be futurist. But, I give a lot of latitude in that. As long as there was somebody really pushing preterism and basically saying you're in false doctrine if you don't believe it. Somebody else was a post-trib rapture person, and they basically said, it's a doctrine of the faith, you're a heretic if you don't believe that. And I'm just like, you better be really careful with all that stuff. So, Acts 2:38, oneness, holiness, death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. These things are specifics, and beliefs on biblical authority, biblical inerrancy, because you don't have that, you don't have anything. All of our doctrines based on the Bible. But once you get into certain nuances, just be really careful declaring people heretics, because I think that's a bad thing. Great, unique commentary, fascinating. So I'd highly recommend it. So God bless. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.